Hello everyone, this is Professor Vigneron, and today I'm going to talk about new product development. So new product development is one of the main strategies within the 4 basic strategies. New product development consists in creating a new product for an existing market. So most likely that you're creating a new product to replace an existing product. This works by selling the product to different customers, and eventually this product goes through multiple stages from a birth stage to a death stage as it gets consumed by the various customers, from the innovators to the laggards. The idea is that when you innovate, you can get more business. But being an innovator has some danger. You don't benefit from existing marketing. However, being the first one allows you to be the first brand or product to be recognized by the customers, so you develop a better target relationship. You also could become the product which becomes the category prototype, and also you are able to get more distributors when you have a product that is innovative. But innovation don't always succeed, because sometimes the market is not interested in your innovation. You don't have all the resources to carry through the innovations. Maybe there is some expensive cost in developing the product. Maybe you don't go fast enough, and the wants and needs of the customers may change. You may also have competitors that enter the market with a product that by the time that you launch your product, your competitor's product may be better. It may be also that it's a product that has a short lifespan. So product, some of them last forever. And here are some examples of sort of forever lasting products. They go from a birth and then they keep on going through the maturity. As you can see, there's actually 2 products from Nutella, but there's also Barbie and Mr. Clean, Tic Tac, and the Porsche 911. These are just examples. So when you have a new product and you want people to recognize it as a new product, you want to have some advantage. So as much advantage as possible, so that way they see a differential between what you were selling before and what you sell now. It needs to be compatible, which means that they can use it easily. It cannot be too complex. If the innovation is too complex, for the most part, it's going to be appreciated by the experts, but the consumers in general won't understand. You need to be able to identify the elements of innovation, so that way you can separate them and you can eventually talk about them through the communication or information about this new product. So the life cycle of products is the market introduction, the growth, the maturity, and the decline. These 4 stages are important to recognize, because you want to stage the different introduction of products. You don't want too many new products, too many old products. You want to eventually keep the company's sales going up by having good balance between new, mature, and older products. The idea is there are different strategies for each one of those stages. In the first stage of introduction, you want people to be aware of the product, that it exists, so you focus very much on informing them. Then in the growth stage, you maximize the market share and you grow the profit. So the idea is you have a big margin, possibly at this time of the growth, but you don't make a large volume of profit, because you are just growing the number of products that you're selling. So you're trying to get more products sold in order to have more market share. Then in the maturity stage, as you have more competitors, you will maximize the profit and defend your market share. So at this time, you will be selling many more products. Therefore, you will have a greater profit in terms of the sales and the amount of sales, but not so much in terms of the profit margin for the product. So maybe you start with a 50%, then it becomes 25%, and then in the maturity stage, maybe it's 20%. This allows you to stay competitive by spending money in promoting the product and maybe making a reduction and incentives. Then you go into the decline stage, and at that time, you try to minimize the cost of selling this product and maximize the benefit of selling the product and making money. Eventually, you go to a stage where you actually remove the product and stop selling this product. You don't replace the product with a new product when the existing product is in the decline stage. You want to have a product that is well launched before that, because you go through the adoption cycle, from the innovators, early adopters, until you get to the laggards. So everything needs to be synchronized. When you develop a new product, you develop them using two methods. The most basic method is you have several steps in developing this product, and you have several teams, one team for each one of the steps. This is called a sequential. Or you can use the simultaneous method, also called the team-based, where in fact you will have team of representative of all the different functions in the company in each one of the steps. So either you have, let's say in a company, you have 5 functions: the sales, the production, the operation, the finance, and the staff. And you will want to have one representative in each one of the steps. Or you could go, this is a better method, but it requires everyone to have some experience. Or you use a more basic method where you would have in step 1, the people that are works in finance and production, and in step 2, the people that work in marketing and engineering, and the step 3, the people that work in sales and advertising, and then in step 4, the people that work in operation. Obviously, the sequential is the most common, but the most efficient is the simultaneous. So there are 8 stages to develop a new product, and that's why this is one of the most complicated strategies, because this is summarized in 8 stages. The key thing to remember is not that it's 8. The key is to remember there's multiple steps. So the first steps is to identify maybe a need, identify something different, identify it through discussions with the customers, research through the customers, but also looking at what your competitors do. Maybe the distributors, since they're interacting themselves with customers, you could have some ideas. But also talking to your suppliers, who may have identified some new elements that you could use in creating new products, as long as these make sense for the customers. So once you've developed these ideas, and here it's very important to develop as many ideas as possible, because they are just options. You need to look at which one will be the best one. So you will go through filtering these ideas to identify the best one. So the best one are usually the one that have the more chances to be successful in the market, and the one that the company is most likely to be able to carry on. So the one that the company has strengths, the one that the company have resources in order to implement. Then you will analyze these ideas more specifically in terms of the likelihood that these will be profitable, that the market is ready for them, and that there will be some innovations that you will have that will make you competitive. As well, you want to make sure that you have this works in your schedule, in the time of organizing things, and that in the cost of implementing, creating this new product, you will eventually make some money. Then from this, you develop some concept. So it could be just a 3D, just a picture. It could be a simple design. It could be just a concept that you have a few ideas that you want to discuss with customers. So the concept development can be done by giving these ideas to the important people. So you give it obviously to the customers, you give it to your employees. The employees is another source. Like your salespeople is a very good source also to identify ideas. And then it's a very good source to actually test some of this concept at the very beginning. So here you don't test just one concept. You have set aside 2-3 concepts that you want to test to see which one is most likely to be potentially successful. Then you test this concept again with the customers, and you try to identify which one of these concepts is most likely to work the best, and what image will be the one that will have the best appeal to the customers. So the more the product is developed into a true functional prototype at this time, it's usually more difficult, it's more expensive, time consuming, but the more likely you will be making a better product later, because you're not talking just subjectively with some ideas, you're actually having a real product for the customers to use. So this is, I found, very important for them to use a real product. Then you looking at the marketing strategy. So here you're thinking about what would be the target markets. So you're thinking about segmenting, targeting, and positioning. What about the sales objectives and the profit objectives, the type of market share that you want to get within a time schedule? You are going to look at trying to see the cost of organizing your distribution and the cost of producing the product and the cost of marketing the product. And then the third step inside the marketing strategy is to think about the long-term goals and also the marketing mix that you will have for this product. Then step 5 and 6 is the business analysis. So it's all about financial projection and see if it makes sense to put all these resources for this product. Then the idea is to minimize the chances that this will fail, or that it could be successful in terms of sales. But there's so many choices that you have to make, so many options, business options. You can't do everything, so you try to be selective in identifying the one that will generate the most profit. Then test marketing is this idea that you want to start selling this product, or at least simulate the sales of this product, and you want to try to identify anything that you could adjust at this time. So there's 3 methods to test. One is that you sell it in just a few cities which are representative, or you sell it into a few stores that are representative, or then you simulate it by making an experiment of selling the product with a group of customers and seeing how they respond to the product. So to conclude is when and where you sell, that's the commercialization, and that should be decided in the stage before, where you have actually done your test market, by identifying the best months, the best area, the best marketing program that you will have in selling the product. So it's important to learn those 8 stages. It's important to learn the order. It's important to learn the objective and the reason why you're doing these, in order to have the big picture of this creation of a new product. If you're doing a strategy of diversification, it's the same thing, plus doing market development, which means also defining the new customers that you're going to try to satisfy. With the product development, you're satisfying the same customer, so it's a little bit less complicated, because you are not so much focused on creating a product for new customers and making sure that this product is also very, very different, and maybe it will be a very new product, because that's what makes it diversification. Bye-bye.